Dr. Raj Gandhi. How will you deal with China? They have been camping on Indian territory. What would you have done if you were the Prime Minister?
Well, even if I'm a minister, I can do some things. You see, the issue is this. We have spoiled our case over the last 50, 60 years. When India became independent, Tibet was under our influence. We had a consulate there, we had listening posts there, everything. Jawaharlal Nehru decided to hand over Tibet to China. At that time, Sardar Patel objected and said, suppose you have to hand over Tibet to China, at least ensure that the border, which is not demarcated legally, at least tell the Chinese we will not agree to an independent Tibet, to a Tibet as a part of China, unless you agree to this entire line, which is Aksai Chin. There was a McDonald-McCartney line, which very few people know. And in this case, in the eastern side, it was the McMahon line. So, Jawaharlal Nehru ought to have done that. He said, no. Our maps, are final and there's nothing to talk to the Chinese about it. Tibet is handed over. Later on, Tibet, China started the same thing. What Patel had warned, no, this is an undisputed, these are disputed areas, the Tibet land has been grabbed by the British, now you have to make adjustments and so on. So after the 1962 debacle, a line was drawn which is called the line of control between India and China. In the eastern sector, it was the line of control which China declared was the McMahon line, because they withdrew behind that line after coming down it. In Aksai Chin, a new line was drawn which would protect their road connecting Tibet to Xinjiang. Now, every day, because the line has not been drawn on a map with exact coordinates, anytime the Chinese feel they come across, it's not that we also don't do a bit of that, but this time 40 Chinese soldiers entered and deep penetrated 19 kilometers into India. Now, of course, they have withdrawn. And the reason they did is because in China also has internal problems. Their PLA, which is the People's Liberation Army, it is having a fight with their foreign ministry. And they took a unilateral step. Had it been a Chinese government decision, then after Indian troops surrounded these 40 Chinese soldiers, they would have sent reinforcements. But they did not send the reinforcements. So it shows that this was some kind of a knee-jerk reaction. My view is, you should always be prepared against China. If they have weapons, we must have weapons. If they build seaports, we should also build seaports. There are very ways we can hurt China. There is a Malacca Strait. If India and Indonesia enter into agreement, no Chinese ship will go through Malacca Strait. The Chinese economy will be finished. So there are many things we can do which we have not done. We have all the time, we fluctuate between how China is friendly and how China is perfidious, etc. So I would say, I don't think that we should fight with China unless we have to. We in fact must now know that China, which has been supporting Pakistan, is now feeling the pain because militants, terrorists from Pakistan are now going to Xinjiang and creating trouble in China. So we must find a way by which we can restrain China, at the same time we don't go into a war. How would I handle it? That's the way I would handle it. I've been successful in many of the negotiations with China. Kailash Mansarovar, Morarji Desai took a bet with me that never the Chinese will agree. They are communists. Why should they agree to open a religious place? I got them to open. I got them to sign a trade agreement which China had been rejecting year after year. I got them to sign. So it's a question of how the Chinese think. The Chinese want to know whether India will support the United States if there is a war between China and United States over Taiwan. Today it looks as if we are so pro-American that we might support the Americans. So they are nervous on that. So you should make a deal on that. You and Americans fight, that is between you two. We are non-aligned. We'll watch the fun. That kind of give and take has to be done and bring about a change in the Chinese attitude.